been experiencing a lot of new phenomenon recently. I've been talking to a lot more people than normal. I normally am not a very talkative person. I'm not someone who would describe themselves as, fueled by talking. I have always fueled by solitude. Just being by myself has always felt like what recharged me. And since I've joined this group, I don't feel so inclined to do that. I mean, there is part of me that is wanting to do that, but also, something that I've always felt, as a more introverted type of person is, I know this will be enjoyable. I just have to go put myself out there first. And that's happening right now, right? When I talk to these people, sometimes my initial thought is, and it's not a super strong thought, it's just like my first impulse is I kind of would rather just chill, on my own. But then I get in the call and I just keep having great phone calls. I keep talking with brothers, and it feels like my circle is growing of people that are like I can actually talk to about anything. I feel that I can genuinely ask them anything, and that is kind of bizarre. Not used to that one. And they can talk to me about anything, and that, I'm not even entirely sure what kind of changes that's going to have. There's actually just so much happening in my life right now, and at the same time it feels like basically nothing's happening right now. Like in my physical world, I'm just working, and it's a very repetitive cycle. But as I just joined this group, I feel that my internal world is no longer static. It's very plastic right now. Stuff is getting reoriented, reshifted around, and next weekend I'm going to be moving to a state that I love. I don't even know that I want to say the state that I love. It meets requirements of a state that I like for the most part. But mostly I'm moving to an area that I love. And I just joined this group, and all these, I'm feeling better. I'm doing semen retention, and I'm keeping my mind away from lust. All of these things, and I've only been in the group for 21 days, but it feels rapid, almost to the point where I'm like, when I first started, I was doing some one-on-one phone calls, and I felt nervous because he asked me to do something that he was going to hold me accountable to. He asked me to there was actually 4 things he asked me to do in my first week, and that was immediately like, oh fuck. For a while I hadn't really been setting goals. I mean, I had been doing things, moving towards where I want to go, but I'm not like setting weekly tasks. I was just plugging away at the basics. Because in the past I lied to myself so many times that I had to rebuild the trust with myself. So to start, like Jordan Peterson says, you know, ultimately we should not lie. We should tell the truth to the best of our abilities. But if you can't tell the truth, at least stop saying things that you know to be false. So in my life, what that has turned out to be are things like, you know, like when you're just talking to somebody that you're really not, you know, that you, maybe you're talking to somebody you just met. So I went to this, as part of my church, there was this like young adult dance, right? I went to that. I met a dude, and we started talking. He was like, hey, I just started doing some fighting and stuff, you know, but I would like to train with somebody, like go on walks and stuff. And I was like, you know, I just met this guy. He lives super far away, but, you know, my nature is very agreeable. So I was like, oh, that actually sounds like a lot of fun. I'd like to do that. And I did want to do that. But logistically, it's a fucking nightmare. It's like an hour drive. Like, I can't go drive an hour a couple times a week. Like, at the time, I could not afford the gas to do that, right? So it was just like, why did I say that? Why did I say I would do it? Or, you know, any number of things. All the times that I failed on, you know, watching porn. Like, when I said, I'm going to stop. And then fucking, you know, if I was lucky, a couple days later, I'd relapse. Most of the time, it was like later the same fucking day. And, you know, I eroded all of my trust. And so when my brother asked me to do these 4 tasks, I was like, I haven't fucking set any goals in a while. I'm scared. But I said yes, because, I mean, I knew the things he was asking was not, it wasn't crazy. It was actually perfectly proportioned, but still, I was like, I don't know, man. I didn't say that in the moment, but I was definitely feeling it. I told him later, but, you know, and since then I've been doing weekly goals, and I've been doing them, and I would like to keep going with this, but like at the pace, you know, I don't want to go too fast, because I need the most important thing right now is that what I say, I mean. My word is like iron-willed. Like, if I say something, I'm going to do it, period. And, you know, there's an accountability group, or channel within the group, and a couple times I've put in there, like recently I said I wanted to make a 60-second song and post it in a week. Now, did I put forth effort when I had time off of work to making a song? Yes, I did do that. But it didn't end up being 60 seconds. And I don't really consider that to be a failure, because I didn't, you know, the point of the accountability was to get me to make music because I like making music. So this week, I'm going to readjust that. Just be like, spend X amount of time making music, right? Let's say at least 30 minutes this week making music. Just have the program open on the computer, be fucking around. Doesn't matter, you know, if it works or not. Just be there. Let whatever happens happen. But you have to be there for it to happen. So that's the goal. It's things like that. Like I'm working out how do I phrase this to really accomplish, because that was what I wanted when I put it in there. I just wanted to put something in there, and that's what came to mind. But I also don't want to just crank out a 60-second song, because I could make the beat I made, which is like 8 seconds long. I could just stretch it out 60 seconds. Like, that's not the goal. Like, I'm not gonna make something that I fucking hate and is super repetitive and annoying just to, you know, prove a point. I did what I said. I believe I did what I said I was going to do. And I'm enjoying the goal process, the warming up. And I feel like when I get my own space, this apartment next weekend, I feel it's going to change. I feel like I'm going to have some more heavy goals. I don't know if heavy is the right word. They're going to be light. They're going to be easy, but some goals, some bigger goals, some goals that have larger impact on my life, like with diet and exercise. Because I'm going to be going to a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym. I'm going to have the opportunity to every week touch base at home, which means I can buy food and keep it there, meal prep, etc. Like, I can, there's less obstacles to be healthy, basically. So yeah, I'm really excited for this. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know who I'm gonna meet when I get there. I just know I love the area, and it feels pretty good to be able to live somewhere because I earned it. My parents helped so much by letting me take a break and recalibrate, because I would not be in this job if they did not let me do that. So I didn't do it all alone. And I felt like quitting. I called my parents. I was starting to text them, be like, "This is fucking agony. Can I quit?" And then we had a phone call, and my dad, he didn't exactly say, and he said, "Yes, you can quit," but he also said, "You're 27 right now. Eventually, the goal is for you to not have to live here, right? Like, hopefully at some point you'll figure out," I'm paraphrasing, he didn't say exactly like this, but the goal, because it is my goal. He kind of just reminded me of my goal. Like, I want to be self-sufficient, right? It's kind of my, like, at least be able to, like, provide my own shelter, right? I'm 27. That doesn't feel like that crazy of an ask. And I'm here. I'm here right now. And 2 years ago, I couldn't have afforded to live somewhere if I wanted to. And now I can afford to live somewhere comfortably, which is really amazing. And like, I'm trying to parse out the things that transitioned me. Because this job, part of it is like, well, first of all, it's trucking, so it's a fairly, I've put myself in a position that is very useful to society. So that's something that's going in my mind. Like, okay, well, I'm getting paid pretty good, but I don't feel that I'm being like overpaid, right? I'm working my fucking ass off. It's really uncomfortable a lot of the time. I'm doing a really good job of minding, curating my thoughts so it isn't a miserable experience. But it's taxing on the body, and I'm grateful for that because, I need the exercise. But I feel like I picked a very, crucial. I've made myself very useful to society, and the money is finally coming in. So like that lesson of, okay, like this is what it really means to be useful, to provide value. Like I am certainly providing value. There's no fucking question about that. But that's not my ultimate goal, to be a trucker. Like I'm really glad I did it. I think I would have kicked myself at an older age if I didn't at least try it. Like I always kind of wanted to join the military, but I don't think I'm gonna kick myself for not doing that. Upon just like I don't know. I feel like the longer I've been alive, the different I have a much different perspective on the military now, and I think I would have. I don't know about regret. I'm sure there would have been a lot of parts I would have liked, but I feel like this job teaches a lot of the same lessons I would have learned about like doing grueling work, or potential, you could frame it as grueling, difficult, you're away from people, I think the main difference is, obviously this is not a combat role, so my life is not really in danger. I mean, if you're on the road, I guess there's some inherent risk, but I would never compare this to combat. But it is a kind of a shitty deal, a shitty necessity. Right? Some people will have to be out there for society to work like this. Like plumbers have to. There are some plumbers that are in cities, and their job is to manage problems with, like, when the sewer lines break. That's I think that you could classify that as a shitty job. But just like this position, like that's a hard job. It's going to require a lot of your time, but you are going to get compensated for that, because that's an extremely useful to society position to be in. So I'm just wondering, I have such a different perspective. Like, I feel like if I could transmute that lesson into how do I be useful in a different way, in a way that lets me be home every day. And with the internet, that's certainly possible. It's just something to think about. You got lots of time. I have no idea where it's gonna go, but I know what I need to do when I wake up tomorrow. So that's where I'll start.